Welcome to HITea with Grace, where we spill the tea on HIT. I'm thrilled to be here in sunny Las Vegas at the Health Conference, interviewing leaders in health information technology and beyond. So tell me, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Malcolm Fogarty, and I'm a strategic advisor at Lindus Health, the Anti-CRO.
I love that title, the Anti-CRO. So what makes Lindus Health an Anti-CRO?
Well, we focus on using AI to enable clinical trials to run radically faster. We've got a performance-based commercial model as well, so our mission, our objective is to accelerate and move at pace for our clients and our customers and our sponsors, and that's resonating particularly well.
Fantastic. I always love to hear when people are going against the grain to make things better for the rest of the industry. I can only imagine that decreasing costs and improving patient experience to having them be faster and smarter. So tell me, I've been talking with industry leaders here about what the most underrated challenge in healthcare and research is. So tell me, what's the most underrated challenge?
Well, this space is particularly interesting, and it was actually a topic of conversations across health on a lot of the stages and panels this week. Is the clinical trials business and CROs haven't really moved on at the pace they need to. So closing that gap between discovery and validation and evidence generation is something that I think every company, be they medtech, health tech, pharma, biotech, ideally want to be able to increase the speed of and to get more inclusivity, and particularly with opportunities today with real world evidence generation. There's a tremendous opportunity for us to be able to move that industry forward. As I said, our model is all about accelerating and having a performance-based, where we can share in the risk but have confidence that we can move towards clinical validation and evidence at a much faster pace than the kind of traditional.
It's pretty wild that this is a novel concept, right? It's a natural next progression, I think, for health systems to figure out how to better collaborate with pharma and vice versa, and to improve and really move the needle to improve things for patients and participants. So, what trends are you hearing about in the health hallways?
I think two big topics of this was starting to see that AI is actually delivering real value rather than just hype. So we've seen a lot of good use cases for how that's driving efficiencies and speed and access for patients and more patients equitably. We're obviously seeing women's health now being front and center on the stage. We've got, it's no longer a kind of marginal investment area. So yeah, for me, I think women's health is very much in the center stage, and AI, kind of proving its value is across a lot of the themes that we've been hearing about here.
That is so great to see. All of the above, yes. Right? All of the above. You're like, yeah, that's pretty great that's happening in real life, right? I feel like in the past it was all about hype, and now it's like use cases, like you mentioned.
Exactly,
it's pretty cool to see. So my listeners love to learn about what's happening in the space, but they also love to learn from leaders like yourself about what drives them. Mm-hmm. If you could give your younger self a piece of advice, what would you tell him?
I guess progress over perfection, so just striving to continue to push things forward rather than feeling that everything needs to be polished before you put it out there, maybe into the general public. Today you can be kind of scrappy and get propositions and solutions and services out to consumers and to patients and to healthcare professionals to test and learn and then iterate quickly. And that's just moving the needle and moving things along at pace. So again, we've got so many tools available to us today to be able to test and learn, and I just encourage myself to continue to just progress rather than making sure that everything is perfect before we look to get solutions to patients ultimately.
I love that. So critical for all of us to think about it that way. Where can our listeners find you online?
lindushealth.com. So come on, there's lots of case studies. So you'll learn about our whole anti-CRO proposition. LinkedIn, Lindus Health. Again, we tend to publish a lot of our case studies, our work, our opinions. We've got thought leaders, subject matter experts from across the world, from across different sectors within healthcare, from biotech to health tech to pharma. So I think it makes for a good read and a compelling one. As I said, the proposition's resonating particularly well in the industry. So we're looking forward to continuing to grow the business and scale internationally as we're doing.
Great to learn from you today. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much.